One. One. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Haki Ami here. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here. Haki Ami, the Success Scholar, broadcasting live from eLife Media. Thank you for tuning in, listening in. Broadcasting live here at 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights, Maryland. So thank you all for tuning in, listening in. Man, I just got a lot of good things to share with you. Of course, many people know that today is Father's Day, so I'm going to share a little bit, in terms of the evolution and rise of the black man. And, I'm calling this Black Man Rise Up or Black Men Man Up show. So, we're just going to have a unique, much needed discussion and have a conversation. And I offered several individuals to call in. So, I'm going to offer that again, a call-in number if you want to share your stories of your experiences growing up, or if you want to share your experiences of how you actually, engaged in the manhood, fatherhood process. And I do make a distinction, so I'll be getting into that. But I want to just certainly give a shout out to my father in Baltimore, Thomas Russum. So, definitely honor and appreciate, the work and getting me to this point. I'm sane, rational, and have good sense, of course. So that's definitely a blessing. And of course, you all can broadcasting live here through Life Media, 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights, Maryland. So definitely come on through. Life Media, Everlasting Life Restaurant here. So definitely it's a special broadcast here this afternoon and evening. So I have several books that I can discuss and share. But many people, for the most part, who have known me throughout the years, I have attempted to discover the realities of black manhood in this society, and always intellectually having an understanding and appreciation for the men, the warriors, the dreadnoughts in my life who have instilled particular thoughts, ideas, and understandings and overstandings of who we are and where we are. So let me just give a shout out to several, particularly Dr. Kamal Bone and Molly Mooper Rudy, who you know, have several books. And I meant to bring Baba Rudy's book, Asafo, A Warrior's Guide to Manhood, here, because, I believe it is certainly an essential read for young and not so young men. And this question of manhood has been quite elusive, if you will, in black society. And so many individuals have attempted to articulate what this manhood looks like. And you have various movements where, some are suggesting that gender doesn't matter, or you being a man doesn't matter. But we, for instance, in our community, we know that men in the household certainly does set, a precedent or an example for what unexposed young men may not have to do. So I have a book here that I'm kind of going to, just go into. But matter of fact, before I get into that, um, I wanted to, just share a few bit of my contemporary operations. And certainly I thank Eli for being present here and, always promoting the vegan lifestyle and encouraging. That's one aspect of manhood that many of us neglect in our evolution, black men neglecting something as basic as our health. And you may not necessarily think that it's a part of the manhood process, but food gathering, certainly, and I'm calling it that for a reason. But understanding of the dynamics of food and how food nourishes and creates or sustains life is essential. And so, we cannot necessarily speak of manhood. Okay, I don't know who the heck this is. So I got some new person, some Coleman on my phone. Yeah, good for him. Yes, Mr. Coleman. Okay. Yeah, some Coleman on my post, this page that's going in. Like, okay. Yeah, yeah, right. So we're not concerned. I mean, just intellectually limited, that's all. So, I mean, probably some not so, enlightened. Yeah, so just starting some little racist stuff. So I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, so as we continue to evolve and grow in our assessment, so a lot of good things are coming up over the next few weeks, next few months. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next few weeks, next few months. And this person didn't even hear anything about my show. But so as we continue to evolve and grow and assess the dynamics within our community and discuss the discussions about ownership and assets and quality of life, we have to understand that there are certain forces that are out here that are aimed at keeping us limited. And so this is why, strategy and understanding history is valuable. And so coming up here actually next weekend in the DC area is the Power Talk. And several contemporary scholars that will be at the Thurgood Marshall Center. So I'm certainly looking forward to that powerful discussion, and I will be present there with several amazing books, and some of the I Am 1 a Million will be present there. So we definitely looking forward to that. Thurgood Marshall Carl Nelson Power Talk 5. This is the fifth lecture series on that, and so definitely looking forward to no, not at all, not at all. So I'm gonna delete all his comments after I'm done. But so yeah, so we got that coming up here over the next few days and weeks, and also looking forward to heading to the Black Enterprise Conference, and that's coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's coming up 19th, 20th, 21st. So I'll be there with some pretty established contemporary intellectual entrepreneurs, and just some real high net worth individuals. So looking forward to expanding the entrepreneurial discussion and bringing some of the Amos Wilson, Dr. Claude Anderson strategies and teachings to these different audiences. And not that they necessarily need these particular teachings, but I think that we have to build these bridges of understandings and wisdom in the sense of who we are and where we're going in the 21st century. And so this is where wisdom comes in, and understanding the global shifts and the global dynamics of power within the society, and how, for instance, the lack of power in our communities, and lack of ownership, and lack of resources, continues to diminish black boys to manhood. So I have this particular book, and this is one talked about fatherhood, and really this is some Amos Wilson type of dynamics, and many people, for whatever reason, may not know who Dr. Amos Wilson may be, but he authored several books, and I really didn't start to bring some of those here, but I had to get it set up for next week, so I had to do some things, and I should have did it this week, but I had to send those books over to the Thurgood Marshall Center. So with that being said, there is certain dynamics, and I'll just read some of these forward, if you will, and I think that many people have to understand this. It said the women's movement has given birth to its most important child, the young but growing men's movement. When the first feminists started off on a long road to equality, they left behind not only the Marlboro Man, but a host of bewildered fathers, husbands, brothers, sons, and others. These men, finally forced to look at how the economic and social order devised by men had victimized, degraded, and stifled women, accepted the blame and began to try to right the wrongs of the past. Alan Elder replaced John Wayne as the new American hero, and the sensitive man was born. This journey into softness and the development of men's feminine side has been valuable, says poet Robert Bly. But more travel lies ahead. It's not enough to destroy the stereotypical macho man and replace him with a receptive male who recognizes and nurtures his feminine consciousness. Both men and women are becoming disenchanted with the unisex sexual ideal and are reclaiming the uniqueness of sexes, exploring the differences between genders. So I just wanted to open with that because, again, we see this movement towards unisexualization, and a prominent black psychologist several years ago here in Ozavice, Dr. Julian and Nathan Hare, wrote the unisexualization of the black race, becoming extinction of the black race. And this book was written in the 1970s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's a White Eagle Act covered book, so you can get that. And, I think that, several prominent sociologists looking at this issue, including the late Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and let me just give a shout out to Baba James Klayman, Professor Klayman, will be receiving the Dr. Frances Cress Welsing Award at the Power Talk. So definitely looking forward to that. But I'm gonna, I got a busy day on Saturday, so let me just kind of mention and get some plugs. And for those that tuned in last week, you heard me mention that. Actually, did I have Martina Evans on last week? Maybe. That's right. Sister Attorney Martina Evans is working on having a youth entrepreneurial conference at Morgan State. So definitely check that out. I think I've added a flyer to somewhere. So that's going to be on Saturday, December the 22nd, but that's like 9 to 5. So but let me just shout that out for those that are wise enough to listen to this far ahead broadcast. And but also earlier in the day, so I'm going to have to balance my time. So I had two events. A discussion with Home Free USA with Stedman Graham. Yes, Stedman, Oprah Stedman will be in the Baltimore. I don't think they call it Oprah Stedman on there, but for those who really know or not know when I say Stedman, I just had that, this thing with, that she has her relationship. You had that relationship to Oprah, so people know who the so definitely he's going to come to town, and he's speaking at the historic Reginald F. Lewis Museum. And so, yes, and that's one aspect of manhood we need to look at. We need to study persons like Reginald F. Lewis, and that's been one of my duties to connect individuals, entrepreneurs, who can utilize that information, and as well as young people that are growing in their careers. And no, everyone's not going to reach the heights of a Reginald F. Lewis. Not everyone is going to be a billionaire, but that's not the total standard of manhood that we have to look at. you know, because we see, for instance, that many men can still demonstrate certain boyish behavior, even though they may get uh, tens of millions. You know, just seems to spend his money quite frivolously. And several of these entertainers and artists and rappers and athletes, continue to believe that spending their money frivolously is some rites of passage, if you will, towards manhood. And this is not, a reality. And many of us, unfortunately, who may not be as conscious, we listen to these people, we follow them, we support them, we financially contribute to their dysfunctionality. And so we have to, really, truly encourage a more holistic lifestyle. And so that brings me to the conversation of healing. Healing, and black men certainly need to go through a healing transformation process. And, yes, okay, and we definitely are going to have to position ourselves, you know, to get our minds and our hearts right with your ancestors and your creator and understanding who we are. So with that being said, I have some sisters coming in. I'm gonna tell them to come in the studio too, if I may. If you don't mind, brother, let's get them sisters in. I'm telling them, I didn't know if they were gonna come, but I'm gonna bring them in. Come on in, y'all coming into the studio. Y'all doing this show with me. Come on in. All right, we live. Come on, y'all gonna sit in though. Pull up a chair. You got another chair for them, brother? Yes, sir. But if you can, take your time, and we'll go to a break. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but as I was saying, coming up here, Stedman is coming, and then there's the Power Networking Conference, which is coming the week after. So from Charlotte with the Black Enterprise Conference, and this is this is ad hoc. They didn't know that they were coming into the studio, so but I just said I'll just kind of bring them in, and the brother's gonna get them mic'd up. But so it's a beautiful day. But I wanted to go over some things, and let me just grab this book. Many of you have seen. I have to put this one right here. And matter of fact, we'll play that clip and get them mic'd up first, brother. But I wanted to go into, and this is perfect that you hear to see this clip, sis. And you can break this down. Yeah, you can go ahead and play that clip, and then we'll just add on. I'll introduce both of these sisters, and I'll get to this discussion in a second. I have this Empowering African American Males to Succeed, a 10-step approach for parents and teachers. So I read this some years ago when I was working at the Mayor's Office of Employment Development in Baltimore, and it's very well done. It's very well done. So I encourage everybody. I'll have some of these at the Power Talk event coming up next week. So, but we're gonna play this clip. It's about some law enforcement and a Baltimore City police officer that was recently charged. He had 24. Let me give a background on it. He had 24 years of service, and then we're gonna come right back. Yeah, just me. All right. So as you can see, and I'm gonna get these sisters mic'd up here, and as we are talking about manhood, and I wanted to give a that wasn't the full clip. That was just the WJZ's clip of uh, the issues with the police commissioner. I thought that was like the full clip, but in the full clip, you can see the they had the gentleman that was arrested inappropriately. He made a comment to the officer where he said, "Why you have him sitting on the ground in the wet? He did. I'm sorry, he didn't do anything." So, and I don't know the details of that particular stop, but the gentleman just said something and began to walk away. So he was walking away, and then the officer, he stopped what he was doing and ran after the other gentleman. He just grabbed him and threw him down in the ground. And so, you know, this was an extreme case that obviously the police commissioner saw that it was an extreme case and that it was certainly, like, particularly someone that's just walking away or they're just saying something. I mean, people say stuff to police officers all the time. And, I mean, and it wasn't even like, I mean, and if you see the clip, he didn't even stay. He just, like, said something and was walking away. He wasn't like he was staying on the scene, even though you have a certain distance that you have to keep from officers doing their duties. But people can say stuff, you know. But so it just made me think about the film that I recently saw, of course, When They See Us. The proper name is What They See Us When but Ava DuVernay, who also did the film 13. And so I had these sisters, who just, I told them I was doing a show, and they came in, and I said, let me bring them on into the studio. But one of them, shared some experiences that she has with, particular incidences in terms of engaging law enforcement and what is considered appropriate for. And this gentleman had 24 years. He only was 1 year away from retirement. And this is like, do you think that you can just do anything, like at any time, and not even follow? I mean, he can't blink. He's not a rookie here, Right. And towards the end of the clip, a junior officer is showing up saying, "Why don't you just chill out, man?" Right? And he told this officer, "Don't tell me how to do my job." So I don't, you know what I'm saying? And that's where, the whole discussions around body cam, comes in. But if both of y'all want to just kind of introduce yourselves and just say, I mean, and were y'all aware of this case before?
No.
Okay. So we have Teresa
Yes.
and Twyla.
Yes.
They do a radio broadcast as well. So, and, I definitely wanted to have this conversation in terms of black men and the role of black men in our society, within our community, and issues like this just happen. So what do you think?
Well, I can speak because I have an 11-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as a mom for an 11-year-old boy, I am very
Mm-hmm.
concerned about how African American leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it hiding? We've got several people in Congress. We talk about this all the time, and I know Carla can speak to it more. But where is the leadership?
Mm-hmm.
I'm outraged as a parent to see this because I'm always thinking it could be my kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm a former police officer in
Mm-hmm.
City of Athens, outside of Cleveland.
Okay, right, right.
And a few days ago, Hakeem Ali was saying about proper stops, proper procedures.
Mm-hmm.
And what you didn't know is that all police officers are trained the same way.
Mm-hmm.
This is why officers can leave one department and go to another
Right,
department.
right.
They're the same training, LAPD training. See, the only thing different is the city ordinances and state ordinances. If you just learn those and that's it, and you count on them as you go. So you have the code in your cruiser anyway. So police stops are always the same. The way you handle arrests are always the same. The use of deadly force is always the same. Now this one is quick that I saw, and we just saw here. There are a couple things that bother me. And part of it is the culture of how they hire policemen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that a 21-year-old, whether you're eligible to be on the police department at 21, I don't think you can have the wherewithal to handle life situations at 21 in a mature fashion, because a lot of people get arrested because it's a matter of an ego thing. So I think that police officers should be able to start at age 25 and put the years on the back end versus like in Ohio, they cut off at 32 or 34 years old, and if you hit your 35th birthday, you can't even join the department. So, I mean, you just hit your stride. Sometimes you get your service and you have some kind of experience, life experience. So that's one. That's problematic. Number two, the way that they train you, interval training, not training, the sensitivity training, it's just you come in, you get paid for 4 hours, there's someone explains them, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And then they mark it, say, give some of the training, that's it. There's no real application afterwards. This officer has to understand that coming on the police, coming on the scene of domestic, I already know you're gonna have an attitude towards me.
Yeah.
Because you have an attitude for the situation that caused the argument. You have an attitude because someone called the police to come, and you have an attitude because I'm there on the scene. So I'm already ready for your verbal abuse. I'm ready for it. So I'm not gonna take it personal because I figure there's other things factoring in that.
Right.
So if you call me out my name, you say, well, hey, watch me call. Come on. Let's rethink this. I got a name that's on this bag right here. My name, right here. That's my name. So let's start with that first. What's your name?
Right.
You want to come in? Okay, well, what's going on? So you have to approach like that. This officer, it was his ego. Guy comes and says something. If he puts the bird at that officer, that doesn't give you the right to go tackle him. The man walked away. He made his comment and he walked away. If he said F the police, which is a record that we all know the NWA made, I don't care, or a cop killer, which Ice-T made that song years ago. I don't care. You haven't harmed me in any way. You bruised my ego.
And are you a threat?
No, you're not a threat. Because you have, in this country, you have First Amendment right freedom of speech. I've been calling it. I've been calling all kinds of stuff. I was told, man, pulled a shotgun, came across the property. I was there to settle the situation. I stepped back, views on off. When I told them what happened, the person who came on the scene, the sergeant was black. Then the lieutenant came, when the captain came on the scene, was black too. To prove a point to this man that it's uniform, but they all went in the house and shut the door. Nothing further we could do. So whatever the domestic situation was, we couldn't do anything further. That was it. The call was clear. So no, that man was not a threat. Anyone running from you is not a threat. That's back. If your back is to me, you're not a threat. If I don't see a weapon, I have to be able to say that is a weapon. I'm not supposed to fire you. It's illegal to fire a quote-unquote fleeing felon unless they pose a threat of life to someone else.
Even so, you said it's illegal to shoot a
fleeing felon.
fleeing
And that's
felon.
if you're assuming the person is that you're pursuing
Is a felon.
a felon.
So, like when individuals are a known felon, or if you know they have a gun,
how do I know they have a gun?
Right, okay,
That's the question, how do I know what you have?
yeah.
I have to be able to say that I laid eyes on what
Mhm.
might have been a gun. We know in this day and age, most people have cell phones.
Right,
And I'm telling you, I've never seen anyone hold a gun like you hold a cell phone.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't care.
That's a good point.
You know, so
Right.
you can't say that you thought it was. You can't say that. You can say that and get away with it in this climate. But if you take the semantics of the word, what I thought, that means you need to be checking me psychologically periodically. And that's another point. Most police officers don't get psychological counseling every so many months. So you don't know what a person, that's right.
And most of them are alcoholics, you know this.
Oh,
Mm.
alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got all of these factors, and I
Mhm.
used to date a guy who was an expert in community policing.
Mm.
And he was a cop in DC, and he said that he experienced times as an African-American cop and a scholar that you see situations that other fellow police officers are not handling the way you would handle.
Mhm.
And he's trying to de-escalate the situation, and everyone around him is escalating. So how do you, I guess my question to you as a fellow officer, how do you handle those situations, and what should be the protocol?
I always look at the person if it's somebody I'm related to.
Oh, wow.
I don't
That's
care what
good.
color. I always
That's
look at
good.
somebody I'm related to because
That's good.
that could be someone that's related to me
That's
on
good.
opposite ends
That's
on
good.
a wrong day.
That's
So I
good.
always think, and not just that, I always think about what action I do here, how's it gonna affect not just you, but if you have children, for somebody else. If I take you to jail right now for this, for something that I don't have to take you to jail for, who's gonna lose out? Who's gonna lose out? And I can tell you that it always protect
Yeah,
and serve.
yeah,
So people forget that serve part.
that's a good point.
You pay my salary. I'm still part of the fact that this police officer made more money than most people on the department. That means all the high law, which is anyone who's like a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, we call it high law.
Okay.
They didn't make as much.
Mm.
So that's the thing. But see, this goes to whoever is in charge of that department, the culture, because overtime should be monitored. My overtime was questioned. My check was taken to the FOP, and they had made copies, said, why I did so much overtime? But I was the one that was solving the case. I was the one that was going under, and I was the one that was doing the best. And you think, well, you all didn't. But even that, I didn't have a problem with it being questioned because I wasn't trying to get overtime.
Right, right.
I had upset the fact that they took my check. I was going to go pick up my check, it wasn't there. So we got paper checks back then. But there's no reason, that should have been a flag too. Why is it one person? So that means what I would have done if I was his lieutenant or his ship commander would have been looking at all his reports and looking at all his arrests and starting to hear what is similar, what's familiar, what car is he working, what district is he working, moves in are that district. But that means he's getting more arrests than really only crime he is committed with your eyes?
That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, second most in the city, not in the whole city. He was the second most highest paid
That
employee.
means you got paid more than your supervisor.
Yes.
Who are higher
And the
paid.
mayor, and more than the mayor.
But I think that goes back to the culture, like you mentioned on the other side, what culture are these police departments creating? And I think that leadership to me is an important piece of it.
Yeah.
Because as a leader, we know that people that work for us are only doing what they see is okay.
Oh, that's the key you said. Police officers, firefighters, paramedics, we are civil servants. We work for the police, and I think community persons forget. I'm your employer. You're my employee. But since they don't know their rights as a private citizen, you allow people in uniform to get away with egregious offenses. There is nothing wrong with saying something to someone and walking off. When he ran up and he tackled that man, he actually assaulted that private citizen. You had no probable cause other than whatever he said. Even if you communicate dress out,
And you said it, why are you arresting?
you cannot arrest a person without telling him why. You can't even take a person unless you tell him
Take your
why.
charge. Like he didn't even know what to charge him, like disorderly.
So
I mean,
you're
like you said.
causing confrontation. You're going to make him commit a crime with that, and that's what's happening. You're making him commit a crime because you're gonna make him
Defend
defend
himself,
himself.
right,
You
right.
see?
Mhm.
So, but the other thing we talked about, and I still believe, Mr. Griff, I was on the civilian review board, which I never really be able to be on.
You said you would not be.
I would never be able to be on because most civilian review boards don't like to have former police
Former, really?
officers. And they think that, I've never been on the jury.
Oh, right,
I've never been on
yeah.
the jury board.
Mm.
But people don't understand, if you were talking on jury board, some of you guys would have got off, because some of the questions that should have been asked aren't asked. And for me, that's different, and that's just me.
Mhm.
But review board should make it so that we're paying for these body cameras.
Mm.
When you leave out a roll call gives you your assignment, gives you a list of stolen plates, cars, tells you who's somebody on your 6 and 7 to your warrant, your felonies and your misdemeanors and misdemeanor things. You go out there, you inspect your vehicle. You check to make sure that the siren works, the lights work, everything works. And then you call the radio room, you call, and then you put this back to the rest of your service. The minute you're in service, that body camera should be turned on, in my opinion. It should be turned on. So why we can't we hear what you're talking about, in opinion? We hear my employees. If you worked a regular job and I was your boss, I could look over your shoulder and what you're typing on any given day. You're my employee. I can pull your computer. You're my employee. Why can't I hear what you're talking about? Because that way you can hear whether somebody's trying or planning. Let's go do, you know? That body cameras should be on inside the whole time, so that way you don't forget to turn them on when you go outside. You see? So everything, that whole shift, and then somebody should be looking at these footage at the end of every shift to monitor to make sure that there was nothing that was plotted, nothing planned. But say, for instance, you don't have the body camera mic'd up inside the prison. I could be riding my partner and say, look at them over there. I bet they got something. What do you think? Let's go see. It could be standing on the phone. There's no laws in the phone. And you know, there is. You understand? You know, there's no law. There's no time to sit no loading. I can be standing at the top Sunday night, ready to do one, you know? And, or rap or whatever you do nowadays. So,
Well, what about, given that we know we've seen the uptick in crime, I'm just, curious, well, not technically, because we know crime is going down, I have to be accurate in all this. We know in general it's going down.
because
But
I
I,
like everybody else.
but I, but I guess we have cameras everywhere. But I guess one of the key questions that I have is, what what do we need to say to officers going out here? What kind of training do they need now, considering that they're shooting innocent black men?
Sensitivity training is something that you can't even explain. The biggest thing is that they're too young to be on the street. And I think that they can move people around more. I think that there need to be accountability tolerance. I think there need to be more psychological advance throughout your time on the department. That's not being done. That's just a start.
Well, certainly, I appreciate this conversation. So I'll begin to wrap up here, but I just want to encourage everybody. Race War film. Yusef Salam is in the film Race War. He was one of the Central Park 5 members, and let me just clarify that they do not refer to themselves as the Central Park 5. That's the name that the colonializers gave them, or the media gave them in New York. So they say they are the exonerated 4 plus 1. So, and that's, and I just read the report about that, they didn't know, y'all saw the whole 4 episode? So they said that they didn't know that, what the older gentleman that went to a different prison, and that's why they did a separate story more so about him and his, experiences in prison, So, I was in my film mode, and when I was watching it, I was like, what is the director trying to share, particularly with, the isolation, 24 hours, 23 hours in a cell, and how, it can drive you, insane. So,
That's something that needs to be addressed too, about the psychological warfare that's done to persons that are incarcerated, and how you expect them to acclimate back into the civilian community.
Right. So I'll begin to close, but I'll just encourage everybody. Definitely, this is, and I'm going to get more into this, Michael Wynn. This is one of the, Dr. Jawanza Kunjifu published several books, but this is one of the ones that he published, of course. So Michael Wynn and Empowering African American Males to Succeed. So we start off young with them, teaching them the different dynamics of what's going on within the society, and not get caught up in the legal and justice system, so that they can have some to create options, and particularly what's interesting, and I'll close with this. Just I believe it was a Hispanic guy, just the challenges that he had with employment once he got out. So we have to address these issues very tactfully in an organized fashion. So, there are people out there that don't want us to succeed in this society. So that's all I have. I'm out. Thank my producer for, you know, working with us and, ad hoc, getting these sisters on to share this conversation. What a good, discussion. I wanted to definitely, that's why I had that clip ready to say if tens of thousands of black men are being charged with just somebody's, their illegal tactics. We can say what we need to do for, black men, but if this economic system is repressive, real black men are going to have to address it. So let me just shout out Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, Black Lawyers for Justice. He'll have something in D.C. on July 1st. So that's all I have. We are out till Tuesday. I'm going to have Sister Ari Squires on doing a show on the Pre-Power Networking Conference. So we are out. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for having me.